Then comes classification of circuit elements. Broadly, circuit elements may be classified into four categories. That is, the first one is active and passive elements. Second one is unilateral and bilateral elements, and the third one is linear or non-linear elements. Okay, then first we will discuss about what is active and passive elements. In active element, these elements are capable of delivering power to some external device, which means these are the elements which activate or produces current in a circuit. Okay, that is known as your active element. For example, voltage sources, current sources, generator, these are the examples of active elements. Voltage sources, it provides voltage to the circuit. In current source, it provides current, and in generator, it generates electrical energy from mechanical energy. That's why these are known as active elements. Okay. Then what is passive element? Passive element, these are the circuit elements which are capable of only receiving power from the active elements. That means these are the elements which only receives current from active elements and helps to carry current in a circuit. Okay. Example is resistors, inductors and capacitors. As we discussed earlier, what is a resistor, what is an inductor and what is a capacitor. Resistor is a device which opposes the flow of current. Okay. Then inductor is a device which opposes sudden change in a current like coils or chokes. Okay. And capacitor is a device that stores electrical energy in an electric field. Okay, the unit of resistor is ohm, and the unit of inductor is Henry, and the unit of capacitor is Faraday. These are the examples of passive elements. Okay, then the second category comes, that is the unilateral and bilateral elements. In unilateral elements, the elements which in unilateral elements, when the characteristic and property of a circuit changes with respect to change in direction of current, then it is known as unilateral element. That means in unilateral elements, the voltage current relation is different for current flow in either directions. For example, semiconductor diode and vacuum diode. Okay, these are the examples of unilateral elements. In below, there is the graphical representation of the semiconductor diode. The PN diode, and anode is there and cathode is there. Okay, these are the examples of unilateral elements. Then comes the bilateral elements. Here, when the characteristic and property of a circuit element in a network does not change with respect to the change in direction of current, then it is known as bilateral elements. That means, in bilateral elements, the voltage current relation is the same for current flowing in either direction. For example, resistor, transmission line, high conducting materials are the examples of bilateral element. And also DC circuits. Okay. The right hand side, there is a picture of transmission lines, as we know, and here is the resistance picture. Okay. Now you see the examples of bilateral elements. And then the third category, linear and non-linear elements. Linear elements. What is that? The circuit element which obeys Ohm's law is known as linear circuit element. That means the output to input ratio is a constant parameter. Okay. So here it says an element is said to be linear if its voltage current characteristic is at all time a straight line through the origin. These elements obey Ohm's law. Example, ordinary resistances, inductors and capacitors are also the examples of linear elements. Okay. Then nonlinear element. What is that? Nonlinear element means it does not obey Ohm's law. That is nonlinear element means its graphical representation is not a straight line through origin. Okay. So an element is said to be nonlinear if its voltage current characteristics is not a straight line through the origin and these elements do not obey Ohm's law. For example, diodes, vacuum tubes, thermistors are the electronic devices. They are the example of nonlinear elements. Okay. Then here comes the Kirchhoff's laws. As you have studied earlier in your school or in BEE also, Kirchhoff's law is very familiar name or laws. So we will discuss the brief story of Kirchhoff's laws. In 1845, a German physicist Gustav Kirchhoff developed a pair of laws that deals with the conservation of current and energy within electrical circuit is known as within electrical circuits. These two laws are commonly known as Kirchhoff's voltage law and current law. Okay. Then Kirchhoff's voltage law and Kirchhoff's current law are the fundamental laws of electrical circuits which are applied for. Okay. Kirchhoff's laws are basically of two types. One is Kirchhoff's current law and the another one is Kirchhoff's voltage law. So first we will discuss about what is Kirchhoff's current law. Okay. The Kirchhoff's current law, according to this law, the algebraic sum of currents meeting at a junction or a node is 0. That means in any electrical network, the algebraic sum of currents meeting at a point is 0. Okay, the meeting point is known as a node or a junction. Okay. That means the summation of current is equal to 0. Here is the diagrammatic representation. Okay. First we will see that in the right hand side there is a diagram where node is there, a point, meeting point here. Current I1, current I2 and current I3 are incoming towards the node. That means they are coming towards the node, and current I4 and I5 are outgoing from that node. That means they are going away from the node, and I1, I2 and I3 are coming into that node. That means let's see the explanation. Consider the case of few conductors meeting at a point A as shown in the figure. Okay. Then some conductors having currents towards the point A. As we have saw this currents, that is I1, I2 and I3, they are coming towards the point, whereas some currents are going away from that point, away from point A, that is current I4 and I5. Assuming the incoming currents to be positive and the outgoing currents to be negative, we have I1 plus I2 plus I3 minus I4 minus I5 equal to 0. Okay, here we have applied the KCL at point A. Then we will derive the equation that I1 plus I2 plus I3 minus I4 minus I5 equal to 0. That means I1 plus I2 plus I3 equal to I4 plus I5, which is implies that incoming current is equal to outgoing current in a circuit.